So you know of an attack against what you believe to be an enemy 2 hours in advance. And instead of rushing this to the media to outline the United States government is just doing imperialist actions overseas, and I somehow found myself front and center in the face of imperialism, and in order to save lives and potentially harm, I don't know the credibility of this, but I'm putting it out anyway, and just watching the American empire scramble. You instead sit on it for almost 2 weeks. And now the conversation is about how you ended up in the chat in the first place. So the conversation goes away from how the United States empire just does empire things and then forces other countries to do its own bidding against people we don't like. In this case, the Houthis in Iran. It's about text exchanges and Signal. And even you see there's already the liberal posts about, how did they end up on Signal? What is the Signal app that everybody used? And there's meta commentary about how communications and confidentiality and transparency, etc. Like, it's so bizarre that people are just allowing themselves just to get just switched up to being sympathetic to America's actions overseas and are just vapid, bloodthirsty foreign policy. And instead of, and again, like this is, and like shout out to Jeff Goldberg. I mean, in real time, you're seeing it. Like, it's not like, oh, wow, America just did a aggression against a group of people in an area because we want to restabilize the Red Sea, essentially, for trade routes and stuff. And almost 200 people collectively were injured or killed alongside women and children over trade routes in the Red Sea. And instead of looking at that and going, this act of aggression in the United States is absolutely ridiculous, we're talking about how the fact that Jeff Goldberg was in the conversation in the first place is grounds for people to lose their jobs. People are allowed to lose their jobs over mismanagement of communications, but we're cool with them just murdering a bunch of people. Like, it's just so insane how down we are for this bloodthirsty death cult that's the United States. And it's so funny because then you get a bunch of people who are saying things like, well, if he did it early, he would have compromised American lives. Like, people could have gotten killed because if he leaked it early. And I don't buy that for a minute. We've been bombing Houthis for, like, even today, like 2 people died from a bombing initiative targeting Houthis. We've been targeting them since 2023. And you expect me to believe that we're really worried about the military capacity of the Houthis, that we're just going to keep things under wraps like this. And there's really that, like, we're really that scared. And even when you think about it from a proportionality, all you had to do for a proportional thing, if we're talking about just the toll of life, is the glass 2 or 3 people. Because that's all, as far as I'm aware, the death count when it comes to the actions of the Houthis is incredibly low. I think it's only 1 person's been killed, if it's even that. Now, granted, there's a bunch of things that we can talk about in terms of, what about the infrastructure, man? They're messing up the trade routes. And messing up trade routes justifies that many people dying and injured over trade? Like, in this particular moment, I don't buy anything that the Democrats have to say about this. I don't buy anything the Republicans have to say about this. This is just an act of aggression in the United States. And we just allow Jeff Goldberg to spin that into us having to have conversations about correspondence of individuals and stuff like that. And there's even even me saying that and recognizing that, hey, if you know that this act is going to happen and people are going to die because of it, leak it. Even if they're wrong, even if you're wrong and nothing happened, leak it. You have nothing to really lose. And then people were telling me, well, it's illegal. If he does it, it's illegal. No, duh. Like if we strapped ourselves on actions that we ought to do against the empire in the face of legality, we're not going to get anything done. Oh, we shouldn't protest because that's illegal. Oh, we shouldn't do X, Y, Z because that's illegal. We'd just be sitting on our thumbs all day, or sitting on our hands all day, excuse me. So to kind of keep this short, I don't buy Democrats' argument. I don't buy Republicans' argument. I don't think we should buy into this whole media circus that's trying to be created. When in reality, what happened was America did an act of aggression against a enemy, and now it's trying to bully another enemy to take care of another enemy for them so they don't get bombed harder. Like an act of aggression that the Houthis make is considered an act of aggression from Iran. Like, are we serious right now? Like, that's not how you create peace. It's not how you're just bloodthirsty. It's just a bloodthirsty death cult that the United States has become, and it's been that way for a while. But this, for me, in this current moment, just ain't. It's not it. It absolutely just is not it. And I really, really hope that people remember what we did on March 15th. I don't care about this group chat. I think we need to focus on what we did on March 15th. And by we, I mean the United States government, and what that means when it comes to how the empire goes about getting the things that it wants to. And if you were given the opportunity to potentially prevent this action 2 hours in advance, and you know of it 2 hours in advance, I would hope you leak it. I would just hope you leak it.